If you haven't already seen Mr. Morj's video, make sure you pause this video, click the first link in the description and go ahead and watch it. In that video, he makes the bold argument that no one is going to kill Kaido in this arc, and because it's something I disagree with vehemently, I'm gonna try and counter a lot of his points and explain why I disagree with his argument, whilst also making the argument that Kaido must die in this video today. I want to preface this video by saying that this is a respectful discourse and I'm not trying to attack anybody with this video. I just want to share my thoughts in a video format because it's the best way for me to fully share my thoughts. Also, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Morj if you for some reason haven't already. He seriously has some of the best One Piece content on the platform, ranging from analyses to chapter reviews to streams recorded with potatoes to theories and other insightful discussion videos, and he's just truly a gem in the One Piece YouTube community with some of the highest quality videos out. I also do want to make it clear very quickly that I'm not going to be arguing how Kaido will die, but why he needs to die. If you're a subscriber of mine, you definitely know my stance regarding how he's going to die, but if you don't know my stance and you are interested in how I think Kaido's going to die, the link to my theory video for that is going to be in the description too. Now that that is out of the way, let's dive right into the very meat of this video. I think Morj makes a very good case for why no one is killing Kaido. All he really uses is what we know about the story and some speculation based off of that, as well as some analysis regarding Kaido as a character, and then he puts that all together to come to a very reasonable conclusion. But two things I think his argument lacks is an alternative ending for Kaido, other than death, and a different perspective that can be formed when using his points. When it comes to looking at his argument in a different perspective, I'll be explaining what I mean by that a little later on, but as far as an alternative for Kaido goes, I'd love to hear what Morj has in mind for that. If Kaido doesn't die, then what is going to happen to him as a character? That is the one thing I can't come up with an answer for. The only way I can kind of see Kaido surviving this arc is if he is redeemed as a character and has this miraculous change of heart, which could work depending on the execution, but the mere concept of that is quite unappealing to me. And that is why I'm adamant in my belief that Kaido dying is the best thing for the story and is just what is going to happen. If you have any alternative endings for Kaido's character or a way for him to leave the story and stop abusing the people of Wano, please share that in the comment section below, because outside of death and a character redemption, I can't think of anything. So moving on. Why do I say that Kaido dying is the best thing for the story? There's actually quite a few reasons why I think it's close to impossible for Kaido to survive past this arc, and listing all of them and going through all of them would take a while, so I'm going to focus on the main reasons why Kaido needs to die. This is probably the single main reason why we all believe Kaido needs to die, and that is his character introduction in chapter 795. Kaido was introduced as this massive, overbearing beast who himself wants to die. Kaido was introduced as the man captured and caught 18 times, but he managed to escape every single one of those times. What does this introduction achieve? What is Oda trying to tell us with this information? Oda is fantastic at giving you an initial impression of a character and moving on to dismantle that impression of them. Just look at Whitebeard's introduction. He was introduced as the world's strongest man, but he was hooked up to an IV. What does that make you think? What does Kaido's introduction make you think? I think the main takeaway from Kaido's introduction is that for the first time ever, the antagonist of this arc can't just be defeated and then imprisoned. That is made vehemently clear in Kaido's introduction. Oda emphasizes that Kaido has been captured numerous times, 18 times to be specific, but he always escapes. In order to truly save Wano from Kaido's tyranny and to guarantee their safety, the Alliance needs to kill Kaido. They have to get rid of him permanently, and if capturing him doesn't work, if he can't be imprisoned, the only way to get rid of him permanently and guarantee the safety of the people of Wano is to kill him. Another good point worth mentioning is the objective in this arc, and that has been to take the head of Kaido and to kill him in the Fire Festival. In previous arcs, the main objective of Luffy, or our main protagonists in general, is usually something along the lines of, I am going to beat up X individual, or I am going to defeat them. This is the first time killing the antagonist has been telegraphed by Oda. There has to be a reason why Oda has put emphasis on killing or taking the head of Kaido. Especially when you consider that this hasn't been done for past antagonists and that Kaido is a special case when it comes to this. And the final point I'll quickly brush over is the cover of Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 47 from 2018 that has Luffy, Zoro and Kaido on it, with Luffy and Zoro holding crossed swords. Not only does the crossed sword symbolize an execution, but there is some text on this cover that directly translates to "two pirates kill the evil spirits." Regardless of what this means for Luffy and Zoro, it does foreshadow a death for Kaido, especially because the word spirit in Japanese is Aki, which can also be translated to demon, which is what many speculate Kaido to be due to his overall demeanor and his character design. Kaido wields a kanabo, which is the signature weapon of demons in Japanese mythology. So moving on from all this, if you hadn't heard Morj's argument for why Kaido isn't going to be killed, you probably would agree with me and say, you know what, Kaido's going to die. There's just way too much going for him dying at the end of this arc. But then you look at Morj's argument for why Kaido isn't going to be killed, and that argument is very clear cut, fairly simple to understand, and it makes a lot of sense. Kaido wants to die, and antagonists in One Piece are never supposed to get what they want. They don't deserve to, and Oda has literally explained why Luffy doesn't kill people by saying that he would much rather destroy their dreams, because for a pirate, having your dreams destroyed is worse than death itself. That's very straightforward. It's an argument that makes a lot of sense. Kaido can't die because death is his dream, and it is a recurring thing in One Piece for antagonists not to die, but rather for their dreams to be crushed. Well, if you think about it, you can actually use this argument to further my initial argument that Kaido needs to die. When you look at this in a different perspective, like I said at the start of the video, you'll see that Kaido's dream isn't that simple. He doesn't just want to die. Kaido actually has quite a few goals, and they all come together to make this one massive dream. Kaido wants to claim the One Piece. Kaido wants to turn the world into one of pure violence. Kaido wants to build an army of smile users. Kaido wants to create the biggest war the world has ever seen. Kaido wants to become the Pirate King, and after all of that is done, then Kaido wants to die in a legendary manner. Kaido wanting to die a grand death is heavily implied, like Morj brilliantly explained, and he wants a death that surpasses both Oden's and Whitebeard's deaths. He wants something that will never be forgotten. Now, imagine you're Kaido, and imagine an army over 5 times smaller than your current army, led by the very man you effortlessly defeated a couple of weeks ago, were capable of thwarting all of your plans and killing you right here and now. What would you think of that? Kaido dying here at the hand of the Ninja Samurai Pirate Mink Alliance is not getting what he wants. If Kaido was killed here, his dreams are still being crushed by our protagonist. He isn't going to get to claim the One Piece like he wanted to. The world isn't going to be turned into one of pure violence. He isn't going to be able to create the biggest war the world has ever seen, and he won't become the Pirate King. And even the death that he has been longing for will not even hold a candle to the deaths of Oden and Whitebeard in terms of remembrance and epicness on Kaido's part. Even if to us as the audience it's a legendary way for Kaido to go out, and if the person who kills him does it in a timelessly epic fashion, I just cannot see Kaido himself being happy to die at the hands of people he doesn't even recognize as threats. By killing Kaido here, you're actually destroying his dreams. And for the people who are saying that Wano is going to be the greatest war the world will have ever seen, Wano right now isn't even matching up to Marineford in terms of scale and international significance. The entire world was patiently waiting for the verdict of the Paramount War. You had millions of people worldwide invested into the battle, and the ramifications of that war were massive. It marked the end of an era and started off a new era. Wano will not be able to do that. Even if Oda himself did say it will make Marineford look cute, I just cannot see how that happens unless we get all of the world's powers here. Marineford had the entire navy and the warlords and an entire Yonko crew. That is 5/8 of the balance of power. Currently on Wano, you barely have half of that in terms of overall power. So when you think of all of that, it's kind of hard to see Wano making Marineford look cute in terms of, you know, international significance, but in terms of what it's going to do for our characters, because our entire main cast is here and the entire Straw Hat crew is on this island and they weren't on Marineford, this is obviously going to be a lot more significant for the overall narrative of the story. But in terms of in-world significance, what this war is going to do to the entire world, it's going to be massive, but I don't think it's going to be as big as what Marineford did. And it is definitely not going to do what the final war that has been heavily foreshadowed is going to do at the end of the series. So Kaido isn't getting the One Piece, he isn't going to become the Pirate King, and he isn't going to be creating this massive war, like the biggest war the world has ever seen. And most important of all, Kaido isn't going to die a death of grandeur, not a death that comes close to Oden and Whitebeard, let alone surpass them in terms of legendariness, if that's a word. And also, like Morj mentioned and like he said in his video, people being able to choose when and where they die is a testament to their greatness, right? Well, Kaido definitely doesn't want to die here on Wano, as we know from his long list of goals and aspirations that he wants to achieve before he dies. By killing him here, you are most definitely crushing Kaido's dreams, which makes Morj's point actually work against his argument and for my argument if you look at it in this perspective, like I mentioned at the start of the video. And to top it all off, this whole recurring theme of crushing people's dreams, as much as it's there and within the story, it isn't like an absolute necessity. Like, you don't have to have your dreams crushed in One Piece if you're an antagonist. NL was defeated by Luffy and he still got to go to the moon, but instead of having his dreams crushed, he just got to the moon and was met with disappointment. He got what he wanted, but not what he really wanted, and I think we could get the same thing with Kaido, where he wants a grand death, and he gets a death, but not exactly what he wanted. He didn't get a death that surpassed Oden's and Whitebeard's in terms of grandeur. So there we go, guys, why Kaido needs to die. There's honestly far more that could have been said in this video, but I don't want this video to be too long so that everybody can watch it and not feel intimidated by its length. I'm actually infamous for making incredibly super long videos, and that's just super intimidating, so I tried to make this one short. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more One Piece content, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know, guys, is Kaido dying, and if so, who is killing him? I have been Fiji. Peace.